Here we're asked to write a recursive rule and an explicit rule for the arithmetic sequence described by each table. Now, they tell us it's arithmetic, so really all we need to do is look at the first two terms here, 35 and 32, to see what our common difference is, because we're told it's arithmetic. So what this means, how do we get from 35 to 32? Well, we are subtracting 3. So what that tells us is that each time we go to the next term, well, we're going to be subtracting 3 each time. And if we double check that, for sure it's right. Now, what we need to know is what is the first term, which we are also told is 35. Now, that's the only two things we need to create our two rules because everything else is going to stay there. So I'll start with the explicit rule here where it starts as f of n equals the first term, which I know is 35, plus the difference, which in this case is -3. So if I did plus -3, that would be fine, but I'm going to make it look a little bit nicer by just saying we're subtracting 3 times n minus 1. Now that's our explicit rule. Same idea for our recursive rule. Our recursive rule here, we have f of 1. It always starts with f of 1, or it tells us a term. And in this one here, we know that the first term, or f of 1, is 35. Now you can either go down below to finish up or put a comma to make sure that we know that there's two separate things in the recursive rule. So the second part here is f of n equals f of n minus 1 because this just represents the previous term, so that stays there. And then plus the difference. In this case, I'm going to use subtraction. And so there is our recursive rule. So our explicit rule right here, our recursive rule here, and we're good to go.